Philadelphia fans love football in a really dark and disturbing way. The national perception of the Philadelphia sports fan is that they are lunatics, almost pathologically negative. And I think it is a richly justified reputation.
If you follow Philadelphia sports, you've almost certainly heard broadcasters and other media outlets echo messages similar to this one, that the Philadelphia sports fan base is inherently bad because of the passion the fans show for their team. This message exists not only in Philadelphia, but also on a national level, as the perception of a Philadelphia sports fan is viewed as being widely negative across the country. As a big sports fan myself, who just started living in Philadelphia 4 years ago, my opinion of a Philadelphia sports fan has changed drastically in a short amount of time. I first moved to Philadelphia with the notion that the city's fans were angry and rude, but have since learned that the fan base is loud, passionate, and above all, proud. For my short video, I conducted interviews with Philadelphia sports writers and fans to discuss the persisting narrative of the city's fans. Each person I interviewed had a different perspective on the city's fans than the one that is commonly heard. As someone who grew up a sports fan in Philadelphia, can you describe the Philadelphia sports culture and what sports means to the city?
I think that the city rides the teams for its emotions. So, it's very cliche. People say, oh, it's a blue collar team. They like hard work. They like winning. But I actually think it's more that we're a city that rallies around the teams and we gain a lot of spirit through our teams. So when the teams are winning, we all feel good. When the Eagles win a playoff game and you live to see another Sunday, that whole week, everyone feels good. So I think that's really at the core of why losing hurts. I think it's the finality of it, and it's the mood swing, if you will. I think we really care. And it's something for the city to get behind it and rally around, and the teams are sort of the heartbeat of the city. We're a big city, but we're not New York, we're not LA. So sports has always been the venue where Philadelphia competes with New York, LA, and Chicago.
Yeah, I think maybe the first thing that comes to mind, first of all, I think overall the Northeast sporting culture is just vastly different than it is anywhere else in the country. In part, we take things a lot more seriously over here, maybe at times too seriously. In part because I think it's just a very big part of the community. And it's sort of like that communal nature that I think is pretty limited to, like I said, the Northeast corridor, Boston, Philly, New York, Baltimore, a little bit, DC. It's a very just unique atmosphere and a unique part of our community.
I want to get your opinion on why you think Philly fans are so misrepresented on a national level.
Yeah, and I don't think it's weird, right? And I think that part of it is amplified because they've never been really good, right? My entire life, I've had 2 championships. I think my dad's 52. He's seen 4 championships in 52 years. That's a lot of losing. And because these teams in the city he's seen 6, I guess. I forgot the 2 Flyers teams. Still not a lot. And to be so associated with losing and not being associated with high levels of success, you have to be known for something. And that's what inevitably becomes because fans get so frustrated and they're so passionate and love their city. And sports as a whole, to me, have always been kind of a version of civic pride. You think of the earliest aspects of sports, it's the ancient Greek Olympics where all these people come from city-states to represent where they're from and where they love that they're from and to show that they're the best. And that really extends to sports fan, and I think that's certainly true in Philadelphia.
And I think it just, we're passionate and we're loud and we wear emotions on our sleeves. So the media can tell a story and run with it. I was at the game a couple weeks ago when Ben Simmons returned, and everyone was so worried about how the fans would behave, and they weren't selling beer in cans. They had to pour it into cups because they were afraid people were going to throw the cans at Ben Simmons. I mean, it was utterly ridiculous, and everyone was fine. It was so blown out of proportion. There's idiots everywhere, but I don't think Philly's any worse. we're probably any better.
Certainly. I mean, people will bring up, Santa Claus, and that happened like 60 years ago at that point. Like nobody that will read what you write, or that even is, 90% of people listening to that broadcast were even alive during it. But it's still sort of held over Philly's head. It's a weird phenomenon. I'm not sure I necessarily see it with any other cities. I do sometimes see, you'll have fans run out. I forget, was it Chicago? I think the White Sox fan runs out and attacks a coach. That if that happened in Philly, we'd legitimately never hear the end of it. And quite frankly, that fan shouldn't hear the end of it. But the way that one actor can sort of portray an entire city seems pretty unique to Philly. And again, I'm not 100% sure why, other than laziness with the media.
And that will be all for my segment. I want to give a quick thank you to Mark, Derek, and Shamus for taking the time to meet with me, and to all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.